Hello, everybody, and welcome to Passenger2x. I picked this up a day or two ago. I've done a couple of flights. I was a big user of Passenger 2, and I loved it. I thought it was a fantastic replacement for like FS Passenger back in the day. I want to preface that in no way, shape, or form is this review paid for, sponsored, anything like that. I did get to speak with Dave real quick from Passenger 2 just as a support, right? I had an issue, reached out in the Discord. He responded really quickly, as have others with Passenger 2 in the past. So as a company, I feel like it's worth giving them a bit of a spotlight because they're responsive. I love their product, and I think it's worth noting. So let's go through, look at Passenger 2X, and man, there's a lot to go through. But I've already got a couple of airlines here. We're going to go into Transamerica just because I've started this one kind of anew. Um, it's really cool what they've done. I really like the career side of it. Now, you don't get the progress maybe the same way as like Fly the Line does, right? Where you are progressing, but you get to create an airline, right? You get passenger satisfaction, you get to have fleet, you get to create routes, you get to create crew that will fly your routes, right? It is really intuitive. So we're going to kind of work from bottom up. Um, right. First off, settings. Right. You can change a ton of stuff in here, which is fantastic. You can turn a tutorial on to help you get through stuff. You can change the management mode of how things look, right? There's a lot of really cool aspects to this new version of Passenger 2. It's really, really cool what they've been able to do for us, right? Go into your profile, you can track your pilot position, your flying streak, your online flights, all of that. You can connect your sim brief so you can send stuff out. You can set the speed that everything works off of. You can link GSX pros. You can turn very similar to before, right? Change your terminology, work on your welfare call, which I have off because it's annoying, at least for flight simming. Random events, your seatbelt trigger, all of that, right? And then sounds, everything that you could possibly want, right? So all of that is within your settings. The cool thing, and this is one of the coolest things I have ever seen, probably ever, other than back in FS Passenger days where you had to do it in like a notepad to edit stuff, is you can create custom layouts for your aircraft. Right? They have some base models here, right? A220s. They're adding as we speak. Oh, look at that. They just updated Maxes. Nice. These weren't in here before. Tons of other 737s. So there are a ton of aircraft in here now. Yesterday when I was using this, the Maxes weren't in here yet. So, it's really cool to see them, living up to their progressions here. All right, so let's just go to, say, a Boeing Max. You can build the cabin how you want it, right? You can do everything that you want to make your own. Actually, we're going to skip this part out. That you want to make um, your own cabins, your own custom layouts. It's a very, very awesome feature, right? So we'll create a first class, put a partition back in, or a bulkhead, I guess is what it is here, not a partition, right? And then, you can be a little bit further back, be something like that, right? You can make your own. That again, and then something like that, right? There you go. There's a 737 MAX 8 with 170 seats total, 154, right? Tells you the number of crew that you're going to need. It's just, right? I'm kind of geeked about this. I'm geeked because it's really flippin' cool. I want to leave real quick and we'll come back as I open up the manual because I am going to want to look at the manual in a little bit. Back to the menu. Let's open this back up. I can show you kind of. I should have two, one for a Max 8 and um, one for 777 that I've already made. Yep. Actually, I've made a couple. There's my A350. Here's a Max 8, like here's a high density Max 8 that I made. All right. So it's really cool that you can, come in, make your own. Yep, that is a downside. That's something that I'm gonna report to them that they need to fix because it still thinks that. Yep, still thinks it. It still thinks it. But right, you can make your own. This is a 777. Right. So this feature extremely cool. Um, in Passenger2x. I love it. All right, you can go to the bank. You can do all the things that you got to do. AI flight TA1. I lost money on it. How the hell did I lose money on that flight? Um, I don't know. Probably because I well, to operations and see why I lost money. Right? It's really cool that we can do this. Oh, it's not even in there yet. I'm actually going to delete that route because we're gonna make our own route to where is this? Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's delete because I'm gonna make one to go to LA a little bit later. We'll get to all this. We'll get to all this, right? So you got a bank, right? Tells you everything that you need to know about making, losing money, all of that. Right, pretty self-explanatory. You can see your loans. You can take out more of a loan, right? I've already got this loan. I'm paying 288 or 283,000 a day, right? You can go to marketing. They have a ton of new marketing campaigns. Remember, it used to be like 4 or 5. Now there's a ton, right? There are a lot. In fact, we're gonna add some search engine stuff in here. Why not? I've got television advertising, search engine marketing. Right, there's a lot of really cool ways to promote what you're doing and your airline. This is another really cool thing. You can create your own miles program, and I'm just going to do mile. I don't know. What do we? Let's call it Stratus. Stratus miles, because those are them high ones, right? And you can create different levels, right? And we'll have this Stratus level. And within the Stratus level, right, you can say how many miles is it going to take to to gain, right? If you have that. So I think cool addition, right? Something to add on to your airline, right? And as I think through what I want to be able to do here, I think it's important, right? Redemption 10 miles per eligible. Yeah, done, right? So required air miles for Stratus level, 100,000, right? So you get to stipulate all the ways that people can do that. Very cool. Policies, right? What are you going to charge for Wi-Fi? What are you going to charge for baggage? What are you going to charge for flight change, cancellations, stuff like that? Are you going to give free seat selection, right? So you can truly create a ultra low cost, a low cost, or a modern, luxury airline, right? So there's a ton of really cool options here for you to work through. Staff, right? There are people to hire. And all of the staffing kind of comes down to your contracts, right? Similar to before, but added on. Ground services. And each ground service will have a different amount that you pay for whatever, your stipulation is, right? Engineering, you're going to have to maintain your aircraft now, which is awesome, right? What's that going to cost based on whichever company you choose? Same thing with catering, right? What's going to be offered? How many things are you going to be able to sell? You know, what's available? And it's not so much now the quality of the food as it is the amount that you can sell and the different varieties. There are tons of different varieties based on whichever group you choose. And then recruiting, what kind of, candidates are you bringing in? Are you bringing in the best of the best where it's going to cost you $15,000 per candidate being placed with a 4% fee, right? For the best of the best, or is it 5,000 and 10%, right? So that all depends on what you set up, right? And then we come back to staff. You can create crews and you hire people based on their ability. So I'm actually going to hire some people for a 737 because I need that. But this is my international crew, right? These are the people that I put on international crew number one. We're going to hire some people. I need people for my 737. So pilot, let's see what we've got for pilots. We got a lot of candidates. I like it. Ooh, cabin crew. We're totally hiring this dude as cabin crew. So we're going to create a new group. This is going to be domestic crew number one, right? And we're going to hire this fella. And we're going to hire this lovely young lady. And we're going to hire, right, based on everything. We're going to hire this lovely young lady. We need one more. She'll do great. Now we need two pilots. Communication and safety are pretty good. You can come on as like a junior, right? Let's see what else we've got for pilot. She seems pretty dang good, so we'll hire her on as a pilot too, right? So now you've got a crew, and you can manage those crews. You can do all that stuff. You can change the pay scale, which we'll get into here in a second, right? When you're in your catering, I love this. Now it's much easier to sort through these things. But when you manage the menu, you can have a domestic that you can change the costs of, and you can have, say, an international, right? Where you get to choose which items, similar to before, which items are available on those flights. Ooh, yeah, water, 500, right? Because it would be in a 777, right? So there's really a lot more that we can do, right? We talked about contracts. Now, here's the fun part. You can create a ton of different routes. I'm going to create right now an O'Hare to LA route, which I'm going to fly in a little bit. All right, look at that, 1,000 passengers. This is the cargo demand. Here's the daily cost, right? And these are different depending on what airport you're flying in and out of, right? All of these things change, which is awesome. Oops. We want this to go back. Right now it's $5 per seat and $5, right? So it just adds a little bit. So you can create different hubs. You can change the amount of check-in desks that you've got, which helps you get more passengers in per hour. Your self-service kiosk, like there's just, folks, there's a ton. There's endless amounts of things that we can do, right? So we're gonna have five. We're gonna have, we'll have two, and we'll have five because that's per hour. That's not bad. That'll be for LA because LA is where I'm going to go with the 777. And we're going to create that route here for a little bit. So here's all the routes that we've got. Now it's time to schedule that route, right? Everything here is in UTC, which is fine. It'll change it up for us. Chicago to Baltimore. Did I not add Chicago to LA? I could have sworn I added Chicago to LA. Well, let's go back. There it is. So we're going to schedule. We're going to come in here, click on schedule. We're going to make a route, and we're going to do Chicago to Los Angeles. This is going to be flight 1 because it's the first one I'm technically going to do. International crew. We're going to make this daily. We're going to use international service because I don't have any duty free, so I'm perfectly fine using that. Now then, let's move this. Not sure when I'm going to do this flight, but we'll wait for that to do its thing. Right. In fact, let's just look up the UTC time. Current UTC time is, oh, I know it's a 5 hour difference from what I am, so it's what, like 11? Uh, Almost 11, yeah, so it's like 10:47 UTC, right? So let's just say I want this flight to leave at 9. Perfect. We go over to ticketing, right? We set the amount that our tickets are going to cost, how much it's going to cost per pound of cargo, right? And then we create the route, and boom, there it is. All set and ready for us to go in a couple hours, right? It's really a cool feature. So what I'm going to do is we're going to come in here and we're going to schedule some more routes, and we're going to schedule our Chicago to JFK. And this is going to be flight 101. It is going to be domestic crew. It is going to be domestic. It is going to be that. And current UTC time again was like 10. So we're going to have this set for 11. Block time is all set there. I'm going to let that fetch its UTC offset, which does take a second, which is fine. We'll come back here to come in here to ticketing. 325. We'll make this like $35.36 per is still fine. There you go. Let's do it a little bit later. Let's do like 7 a.m. flight. Perfect. Create the flight. Boom, there it is. Let's come back in here. We're now going to go from New York. This is going to be flight 102 as we return. Domestic, daily. Right? Schedule conflict. Oh, yeah, we're in the air. We're headed to New York, aren't we? Cool, cool. There we go. Ticketing. Tune these down a little bit. Come back here. There it is. Ticketing. And let's create the flight. And you can see we're starting to fill in the blanks, right? We're going to do a whole flight and we'll add in maintenance here in just a second. So we are back. Where do we want to go next? Let's say, oof, right? I don't care about Assassin's Creed Mirage, you silly thing. Um, hmm. I suppose we could do Santa Ana. Runway is not long enough for this aircraft. In real life, it actually is. Huh? They're gonna have to fix that. We'll go to San Jose. This will be flight 104. Domestic. 4 hour block. Come in here to ticketing again. Dun, dun, dun. All right. Create. There you go. We're going to do our return from San Jose. This will be flight 103. Domestic. Domestic. By the way, with the crew groups, you do and are limited daily to their flight hours, right? You got to make sure you don't overwork them. Ticketing. Tune this down. Tune this down. Come back. Time is set. Yep. And create the flight, and there you go. We're going to add some maintenance time for this aircraft. We're not going to add maintenance time because I have not set that up yet. I gotta fix that. Right, we come into our fleet. We lost money on our first flight because it didn't go off. I don't know why it didn't go off. Something goofy happened with the way I set the schedule up. What we do need to do is we gotta add Wi-Fi, increase that, boom, right? So that we have all those lovely things. It tells you what your repair cost is gonna be too. Very cool. Right. But you come in here, you can buy new aircraft. I wonder what the MAX 8s are going for now that they've added them in. Ooh, 210 because of the yeah. What's the 6,000-foot runway still? All right. You could buy one of them, right? You could buy a used one, which great. I'd rather buy the new one. Right? So there you go. Boom, boom, bada bing. Everything that you could want. Tons of different aircraft. And again, you can put your own you put your own seat map in there, right? So I've got my own for Transamerica. I can put my own seat map in, say where I want it to go, do the outright purchase, boom, it's there. We're ready to use it, right? When it comes time to actually fly, you can select the route that you want to do. I'm going to do this Chicago to LA route, right? Tells you when it's supposed to go, all of that, and you can send it off to SimBrief, and then it'll do what it's got to do, right? So the features in this thing are endless. You can truly create um, your own airline now. It's really quite cool to see all the wonderful things that Passenger2 have added to this um, this game. And I mean this add-on, really not a game, it's an add-on, although you technically you don't need Microsoft Flight Simulator to do this. You could just make an airline and do everything off, right? Create your own cruise, do all that, and just do everything on the side. Completely capable, right? As you go through and you look at all the different policies that you have. Something else I forgot, real movies and stuff, all of that. So it's gonna just randomly select 20 for what's on there, but right, really, really cool. Save all this. What's your delay compensation? What's your, cancellation, your child, all of that. So there's a lot of options in your policies. There's a lot of options that you have in your air miles, the different levels that you can create for everything, right? It's really a cool add-on, and they've done a lot to improve it. I recommend it. I loved Passenger2 just to start. I thought it was a phenomenal add-on. You know what? For S's and G's, I will load up Microsoft Flight Sim, which is going to take me a second, which is fine. But I want to show you guys the in-plane experience because it's a little bit different than um, than it was before, right? Especially with your own custom if you make your own custom um, layouts and whatnot. I'm actually going to go back to the custom content. I'm going to look at all these because it's cool. Like, what can I do in a Beechcraft Baron? Okay, you can create partitions and doors. Like, I haven't looked at some of these things. That's cool. Like, do they have? Ooh, they do, right? So CRJs. There's a lot you can do. They have the 550 in there, which is cool. Embraer is the same stuff, which it makes sense. Here's the Sukhoi jet. Yeah. Again, kudos. Kudos, kudos, kudos. This is well thought out, well planned. I love it. Ooh, I love that they have the different like first row, first class front row stuff. That's really cool too. Premium seating. Yeah. Good on them. The ATRs. It's just fun to play through, right? It's fun to look while we wait for the sim to load up. All the different things that are in here. Do they have? They do have like a premium. Looking for like a mint level, like you know how JetBlue has their mint, which is like the 1x1, which they don't have. That's fine. Things that will come later. Just really flipping cool. All right, let's load up a plane. I at least want to be able to show you guys kind of how this looks. And I know you guys can't. You cannot see that which I am doing, which is a-okay. So what I do want, I want to go to new flight. We're going to do here, confirm, right? So again, check weight and balance with your route planning engine, right? Send to SimBrief. You can do all of that. All this stuff is still the same. Hold on, let me get to an airport, the correct one, which would be O'Hare. All right, I should be able to start this now, I think. And it's going to get a very fast. And everything's gone, and you can just see all my stuff, which is fine. But what we want is to make this bigger. Right, here you go. There's your plane, and we're going to make this bigger. Nope, stop doing stuff. As I watch it on the screen over there. All right. All right, so this all looks relatively the same. However, to move over, right, we got to hold down. Cool. I like it. All right, let's do it. All right, so here's the entire plane, right? We say board, and then we have other options. We can turn lights on and off. We can do, service auto service and all that, right? So the things look a little bit different now than they used to. Let's start boarding, just for the sake.
Welcome aboard, everyone. We'd like to inform you that we have passengers on board with a severe nut allergy. As a precaution, we kindly ask that you refrain from consuming any nut products during this flight. This includes peanuts, tree nuts, and foods containing nut oils. We appreciate your cooperation.
Right, there you go. So there's tons of different announcements. I just played that one for the nut allergy. You're going to have tons of other ones for the captain, for the stewardess, all that. So yeah, I just wanted to give everybody a quick little overview. Hope everybody enjoyed. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. And until next time, I will. See ya.